for me, what it took this whole transition to a new level is that I went through an uncomfortable phase where I went and stayed with this pastor in New York for like 2-3 weeks, and it was uncomfortable for me. Like I felt like I wasn't good enough to be around these people who are like perfect. It felt like, and
why did you feel that way, and why did you live with a pastor to begin with?
So no, it was basically because I was just in a weird place, dude, and I felt it in my soul. I was looking at myself in the mirror, and I was growing up. My mom raised me as a Christian, but as I was growing up, there was so many weird Christians that I came across that were just like, I don't think I want to be a Christian, And then I got to a point where I was so lost. I'm like, let me try to revisit my faith, but I did it with these people because I know that their view on their faith is so much different than most Christians. Because most Christians are like, I'm going to do this so that God can love me. I'm going to like, if I show up wearing this, like he'll respect that, But that's not what God is. Like if God is based on love, it's I love you first, regardless of what you do, rather than you do this and then I'll love you. Does that make sense?
He loves you no matter.
He loves you no matter what.
Yes.
Yeah, it doesn't mean you can go do what you want, but if God's based on love, like if I love my girlfriend, right?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna want to cheat on her because I love her so much. It's not like if I don't cheat on her, she's gonna love me more, or you know what I mean? It's like you develop a relationship with God, so that you don't want to do that other stuff.
Yes.
And you don't want to be judgmental. You don't want to hurt people because you're like, oh, like God loves me.
Now, you've always had a relationship with God?
Always, yeah.
But you just had a bit of downtime?
No, I've had my ups, I've had my downs, I've had my doubts about who God is, and my perception of God, too, is a little stray because things start happening, you start blaming God for those things, but it's never God that's making those bad things happen. And so certain things happen, and it just swayed my belief, and I just was like, you know what, I don't even know if I believe in God. Until you get to a point where you're just like, I can't do this on my own.
Was sort of re-engaging with Christianity, was that all part of sort of coming back, of sort of winning yourself back and moving forward?
I think it was just how it happened. It wasn't like, I'm going to do this to try to get my life back together. It was, God chose me. It wasn't like I was like, it was more so like I was about to do something stupid, and I felt like God told me not to do it.
I'm a Christian, and sometimes in this place of work, I do broadcasting, radio and TV and stuff, and so you say you're a Christian. In New Zealand's a particularly secular country as well, and people bag you, they're sort of like, oh, he's a God bother, he's a Bible basher, whatever it is, or you do some. I read a quote once I thought it was brilliant. It said, Christians are damned on only 2 occasions: 1, when they practice what they preach, and 2, when they don't. Which is pretty much all the time. Do you feel it's dangerous? Have you ever felt like, by honouring God and even saying that, people roll their eyes and go, here he goes again?
I think that, I think Jesus is a touchy subject as well. And I think I don't know, it's crazy because of how much the world is opened up to other stuff in the world, and how closed-minded they are about that. And I think that whatever you believe, you should be able to share that and not feel condemned or not feel like people are judging you for that. And that's just what I believe, and I'm never the person to throw it in people's face. I'm never the person to be like, hey, you should do this or you should be this, because I think everyone's on their own journey. But for me, I just, that's what I believe.
Perfect.
So,
I love that. Do you get to a level that you're at where you're immune to criticism, or does it hurt still? I'm not immune. Certain things don't bother me anymore just because I've heard them so many times. It's just like, hearing it again is nothing new, but there's certain things that I'm like, guys, like, why would you, I don't know.